Let's get started!
There you go, Miss Mindlayer. That's the entire script for this video.
So what are you thinking?
We managed to reach 600 subs, and I'm thinking of switching up the dynamics for a bit. Instead of us bashing something, it's the viewers who are going to bash us instead.
But you might want to use a little more flair.
Now everything's fine as it is. Let's begin. Okay, here we go. 600 subs. It's kinda amazing the channel that simply started out as animation practice even got this far. But anyways, many thanks to everyone who helped us reach this milestone. Now some people have been recommending some animes for us to rant about. I'm afraid but this channel's just gonna be sticking with MHA bashing in the meantime. This is because an average 6-minute long video takes around 10 to 14 hours to make, and there's simply not enough free time for 2 videos a week. It's much better to stick to the content we've been known for, rather than make an on MHA rant video no one will care about, and waste 10 to 14 hours for nothing. But what happens once MHA ends? Well, actually we don't know yet. We'll see when we get there. Now let's get onto the main content. So you might be wondering what the f is with the title of the video. You might also be wondering why is the chapter 361 rant unavailable. The answer couldn't be any more obvious. It's because the chapter 361 rant is f***ing horrible. Just look at how very little likes it got. Anyways, to celebrate reaching 600 subs, we are gonna be re-uploading it again attached to this video. Now like I said in the intro skit, I want everyone to bash the ever-living f*** out of this video. You could either pick it apart piece by piece, maybe pick a single bad point and rant about it, or you could just tell us our drawings are bad.
Bold and brag. More like belongs in the trash!
Whichever method you choose, it's fine by us. This video is so bad it deserves to be roasted. Now without further ado, here it is. I hope you got your eye bleach ready.
Hello! Let's get started!
Clever, comrade. Look at this. We can use this trick to save cash.
Just showing video game footage instead of animating the intros and endings. That's a brilliant idea. Yeah, I'm sick of paying the animator these days. But since chapter 361 is out, let's talk about that first. Okay, here we go. Another chapter, another rant video. Now we are gonna do something different. Instead of just talking about a single topic in regards to a chapter, we are going back to the usual stuff, just browsing everything and talking about things that don't make sense. Also, this is not gonna be a full recap in case you're wondering. Let's start. But first let me say a little something about this very short chapter. It's a continuation of the Handyman fight, and like all the Handyman-centered chapters that appeared before it, there's very little story progression, if there's even any progression at all. Handyman's chapters, despite being intended to be the epic final boss battle scenes, are surprisingly boring, especially so when compared to these other fights. Handyman is just a basic sponge boss with no interesting qualities. Now let's get to the chapter, starting with the Kid Handyman. This is Kid Handyman, a cheap excuse for a save-a-villain plot point. Why is this even here? Shouldn't Kid Handyman be long gone since it's already been turned and corrupted into the Handyman we know today?
So I found Tomura, groomed him to hate you.
Not only that, the manga is making it look like that this kid is the real Handyman, the person who really needs saving. So instead of actually saving the current Handyman and his multitude of issues, it's his innocent kid version who's going to be saved, who has nothing to do with anything he's doing now. One could say that saving the kid is enough since he and Handyman are the same person. No. One is innocent, and the other is groomed by the Demon King. If Handyman's villainy is by his own decision, then yes, they are the same person. But his villainy is caused by getting manipulated and brainwashed by Deadline himself, making him a separate character who just happened to look like Handyman. And not the same person as this kid. Yeah, I know he intentionally killed his dad, but you get the idea. All in all, in a big picture narrative sense, this kid is meant to represent the hidden good inside Handyman. Now you might be wondering, what about other villains? How come only very few select villains get sympathetic praise and then everyone else gets portrayed as nonsensical evil monsters with zero redeeming qualities? Aren't they just normal humans too? Why are some going to be saved and some are not?
I don't know!
What about Deadline? Isn't he also an innocent kid back then? Or is he born already in a suit and blabbering about world domination? Too bad we are not gonna get an explanation for that. If you're not Handyman, if you're not Sunbert, if you're not Libra, then you go straight to jail after the finale because you're a nonsensical evil person. On the other hand, why the f am I taking this little Handyman seriously? Everyone knows Falcon is just gonna go in, talk to the kid. Said kid will then take over his adult form, and eventually kill Deadline within 3 chapters flat because the Demon King somehow can't control this tiny kid. It's kinda funny that Handyman did nothing but mess with other villains again and again and again for the entirety of the manga, and then his final act is still gonna be about messing with another villain. Magnificent. Glorious. Outstanding. 10 out of f***ing 10. Now let's move on to the manga. Let's talk about the Out of Place Beam Cannon flashback. It's short, popped out of nowhere, and looked like it was just meant to supplement Wallhack's roast and tell the readers why having friends is cool. Because MHA does power of friendship now. Next we go to our final topic. Because we only really have 3 topics this time since chapter 361 is a very short chapter, and that 3 is a very good number. Our final topic is Food Fight's biological cannon composed of many different creatures. It's like he barged into a zoo beforehand and took a bite out of every animal there like a deranged lunatic. From the bugs on nearby decorative trees, to the zookeepers themselves.
Excuse me. You're biting my butt.
You might be wondering, why is this only unleashed now? If Handyman is supposed to be some Avengers level threat, why didn't he use this one earlier? It has barely any deployment nor charge up time. You blink and it's there. He could have used it before Handyman got supersized. Or maybe use it within the safety of the UA building. Yet he didn't. He went down to the ground and did some scorpion stings first before deciding it's time to go. I'm thinking this is because the creator is just making things up as he goes and not really planning anything. Especially obvious as beam cannon's beams can increase speed and velocity of anything it wraps around on. Yet didn't empower God's weaponry for some reason. But seriously, what kind of animal combination can deliver a damage output greater than this? Based on Food Fight's stance over here, he seems like he's going to pistol shrimp on the back of this cannon to supercharge it. But how is that going to be stronger than a literal nuke? Whatever he's planning, I have no idea. So all in all, the chapter ended with a glimpse of an upcoming big attack. And since big attacks at the end of Handyman chapters always do nothing, regardless of whose character it came from, high chance this is also going to do nothing.
We should do this more.
Yeah, I guess you're right. This saves a huge amount of time.
See?
If we keep this up for a couple more chapters, we would have enough money to get the Megamind Part 2 up and running.
Whoa, what's that?
Holy crap. The Megamind Part 2 thumbnail suddenly manifested into reality. We are really saving a lot here.
Okay, let's get this started.
So here goes the start of the video no one asked for.
Use these.
These nuts? Ha! Got him! Ha!